on, people? Welcome to Football Carnage, and we are back with another Madrid hype, and today is an amazing day. I woke up to some great news. I don't know about you guys, chat, but we got a lot of stuff to get into. And when I initially woke up this morning, I checked my phone. You guys know in America, we're about 5 hours behind UK time. So a lot of things that breaks overseas in Europe, it hits us a little bit later in the day, or earlier in the day, I should say. I woke up and I saw all the news that was going on, and I thought I was being pranked. I saw a lot of WhatsApp messages, and I'm thinking, surely today is not the day that we got the final confirmation. Like, there's no way that I'm sitting here at 7:45 in the morning, crust in my eyes, and I'm seeing the Fabrizio Romano tweet. I'm seeing the Trent Alexander-Arnold video. I'm seeing the long-ass paragraph that he posted. I couldn't believe it. But, I mean, aside from the Trent news, we got to talk about the Saliba news that's coming out as well. We also got to look at some of the other defensive signings that the club are possibly exploring for this summer window. And then we got to talk about Rodrygo, of course. But wow, I mean, what a day so far. Fucking hell, bro. It's so much that's going on. It's actually crazy. Big up to the damn chat. Make sure you guys smash that like button, right? Make sure you guys subscribe. If you happen to catch this stream after it ends, I'll add chapters in there so that you can listen to the parts that you care about the most. But now look, big up to your damn selves. Oh my goodness me. It is crazy. Such a crazy day. I'm telling you, yo, we got a lot of stuff to get into. This stream's going to be crazy. I'm telling you that right now, brother. But now look, my energy is a little bit low right now because trust me, we're going to be doing a lot of screaming within this next hour. But yeah, man, big up to everybody that's watching. Also, make sure that you guys join that Discord, right? Make sure that you guys also subscribe to my second channel, Carnage Extra. The link for both of those are going to get dropped in the live chat throughout the stream. But now let me get a few of your comments in. How's everybody feeling? What a day. What a Monday. What a great way to start off the work week. Am I right, chat? Yo, Big Up in the Syrian says, yo, Carnage, big up. I'm kind of worried we are signing good players, but what about that deep-lying playmaker we need? Well, I mean, look, Trent will definitely solve some of those deep-lying playmaker issues because he'll be in that back line. Maybe he'll be at right wing back, depending on what manager we get. But, I mean, look, that's one way to solve some of the creative issues that we've had, right? He's somebody that has an amazing passing range, right? He's somebody that will be able to find runners from deep positions. But, I mean, from the midfield spot, yeah, that's definitely something that the club still might need to address. But to be honest, I don't think that a midfielder is a high priority for Real Madrid this summer. Just to be real with you, bro. Let me see. Big up to Muhammad. What's going on, bro? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, look, Dean Huijsen, we're going to have to talk about him. It's not looking good, bro. According to the reports, I mean, look, things can definitely change. But with everything that we've seen coming out surrounding the reports with him, unlikely. But we do have to talk about it, though, because there is still a chance, right? Faith, what's up? Says, I feel bad for every Arsenal fan, Man United, or Tottenham Hotspur are winning the Europa League, Chelsea winning Conference League, Man City FA Cup, Liverpool winning the league, them potentially trophyless. Yeah, I mean, that does suck for them. I don't understand how Arteta's still in the job, right? You definitely should be thinking about sacking this guy, but they won't. They won't. I want them to sign Theo Hernandez. Yeah, I've been seeing those reports. We're not going to talk about Theo Hernandez today, but, I mean, he was at the club before. We sold him. So, I mean, maybe we look to bring him back. I know his contract runs out in 2026, so we can possibly get a deal done for lower than what his actual value is this summer. Yeah, I mean, that is one to think about, 100%. Yo, Santiago, what's good, bro? Says, what a great way to start the week. Trent to Madrid confirmed. Saliba rumors fire. Nah, I'm saying, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy, chat. We need a Joselu type of striker to come off the bench for us. 100%. 100%. We definitely do need somebody that can be an aerial threat, somebody that gives us a different dynamic, especially in games when we're struggling to break teams down. Now that you go and sign a player like Trent, right, he's going to be whipping crosses into the box. We know that Trent set pieces, right, whether it's free kicks, corners, from open play, he's a very creative kind of player. So we're going to need somebody that's going to be able to go on the end of the balls that he's putting into the box. Right now, we don't have an aerial threat in that attack, right? The only time that we're going to score is if you see set pieces where Rudiger's in the box, Tchouameni's in the box. Let me see. Miguel Gutierrez will cook under Xabi Alonso. Bro, have you not seen the news? Miguel Gutierrez has agreed to join Atletico Madrid. He has a verbal agreement to go to Atleti, and Real Madrid don't want to buy him back. We don't want to exercise the buyback clause. So he'll go from Girona to Atleti more than likely this summer. Miguel Gutierrez is not going to be a Real Madrid player. I think he's the guy that I would have wanted because of how cheap we could have bought him back for. But, I mean, look, he'll probably cook at Atleti. I wonder if people are going to call him a snake. I wonder if people are going to criticize him because I don't blame him for going to Atleti. He's from our academy, but we had a chance to buy him back. We rejected him. So if he goes to Atletico Madrid, it is what it is. Yo, big up for the super chat. Says Saliba and 40 million for Rodrygo. Potential swap deal, you're saying? I mean, that would be interesting, right? If you were to swap Rodrygo and Saliba, I don't think any money should be exchanged then. Even though, let's be real, Saliba is more of importance to Arsenal than Rodrygo is to Real Madrid. But we need a center back. They need a left winger. I mean, would you guys take that kind of deal? Saliba for Rodrygo swap. That could be pretty interesting. Let's see. Now, anybody that's calling Gutierrez a snake, you're fake rage baiting. You don't actually care. It's not that deep. The guy barely played for us. We sold him to Girona. He established himself as one of the best left backs in La Liga. We have a chance to buy him back. We say no. He goes to Atleti. Whose fault is that? It's Real Madrid's fault. If we wanted to bring him back, then we could. We have a buyback clause. We have a hole at left back, right? We're not happy with the left back situation. Fran Garcia's not good enough. Mendy, he's dealing with injuries, and offensively going forward, he's not the best. So we can bring Gutierrez back. We decided not to. How's he a snake? I don't think he is. Yo, Zer, what's going on, bro? Big up. All right, a few more chats, then we got to get into it. I would swap Rodrygo for Saliba. I don't want Rodrygo to leave. But if you tell me that that's the only way that we go get Saliba, right? It has to be a swap. That's the only possibility. I would do it. I would. I saw Liverpool burn Trent's jersey. Why is your profile picture Real Betis, Mohammed? That's the real question. What's going on over there? But yo, let's talk about it though, right? Big up the damn chat every single time. Keep getting your comments in because we got a lot of stuff to get into. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is what's going on with Trent Alexander-Arnold. So unless you have just woken up, or if you live in a place where you don't really get Wi-Fi service, so maybe you haven't seen the news, unless you're in a situation like one of those two that I just laid out, then we all saw what broke this morning. Trent Alexander-Arnold will be leaving Liverpool at the end of this season. And we all know where he's going. Trent will be a Real Madrid player. He will be the right back for us for the foreseeable future. Now, we got a lot of reports to break down, and we're going to cut this up like a kilo of cocaine. We're going to look at each report, and we're going to analyze it. Now, I saw that Trent dropped a video. He also dropped a very long message as well. And I do want to play the report. And I do want to play the video that he's dropped. But I'm not sure if it will get a copyright strike. But I'm willing to take that risk. I'm feeling up to it today. But we got to cook, Liverpool fans. We got to cook that club. And then we also got to talk about his fit at Real Madrid. But let's play the video, right? Hopefully, I don't get copyright, right? But let me know if you guys can hear this. Let's see what my future right back has to say.
Okay. After 20 years at Liverpool Football Club, I'll be leaving at the end of the season.
W Trent in the chat! W Trent in the chat! Come on! I'm going to be real. There was a little period of time where I was 100% feeling like, yo, what if Trent changes his mind? What are we going to do if this guy decides to stay at Liverpool? They won the league. You saw after he scored that goal against Leicester City a few weeks ago. My man took off his shirt. He was celebrating with the fans. And I was thinking, maybe he's having second thoughts. What are we going to do? Because the right back market currently, it's not the best. Let's just be very honest. It's not. And if Trent was to stay at Liverpool, we all know that we would have been in a little bit of trouble because Danny Carvajal is coming off of a torn ACL. And who will we have signed? Frimpong? I don't want him. Like, there's literally no other right back in the world. The one that comes to mind is Reece James. I think Reece James, when fit, is the best right back in the world. But the issue is the guy's never fit. So it had to be Trent. It was either Trent or we were going to be in some serious trouble. But I need you guys to drop some W's in the chat for a man like Trent. Let's continue.
I think the decision for me is personal. To change environment, to challenge myself elsewhere. It's not about wanting to find something better. It's about me and my personal journey as a player. And I feel like now is the right time for me to go and experience that.
Yo, this guy just broke up with them. This sounds like what you tell a girlfriend that you no longer want to be with. It's not you. I'm not trying to find something better. I'm just trying to find myself. I'm just ready for new experiences. Hey, look, we got to rate this. We absolutely have to rate this from Trent. All jokes aside, all banter aside. The easy thing for him to do is stay at Liverpool. Is for him to not leave his comfort zone. Boyhood, Liverpool guy, has been there his whole life, has been in the academy, came through the ranks. But I think that Trent is thinking about it from a legacy point of view. Look at Steven Gerrard, one of the best players that England have seen in that midfield. But he's not spoken of as highly as a lot of other players. Him going to Real Madrid is him challenging himself. It shows that he has ambition to be considered the best right back of all time. Because if he comes to Real Madrid and if he's able to replicate the success and the numbers that he put up at Liverpool, this guy's going to be in conversations with Roberto Carlos, with Dani Alves, right? With Danny Carvajal. He's going to be considered one of the best fullbacks of all time. He has the chance to start for us week in, week out. And he's taking a gamble. It's a massive risk for Trent, by the way. Don't think that just because he's joining Real Madrid, it means it's going to work out. It's a massive gamble. If he's getting cooked every single week, right? We all know La Liga is a much more technical league than the Prem. He's going to be playing in El Clasicos. He's going to have to go up against Rafinha, Lamine Yamal. He's going to have to play Atleti. He's going to have to go against teams like Bilbao. And the protection that he's gotten at Liverpool is not going to be the same protection that he gets at Real Madrid. This guy knows that if he is not putting in good performances, he's going to get cooked. The Spanish media is ruthless. So we have to rate the fact that he's willing to step out of his comfort zone and to try something different, to take on a new experience. Big up to the chat, man. Shout out to man like Hubris. Says, big up. We got effing Trent. Like up the stream. Yeah, bro, look, run those likes up. Run those likes up, people. But let's continue.
People won't be happy with the decision, but it's something that I feel like I need to do on my journey and my career.
It's Alexander-Arnold! Oh, what a moment! The teenager!
The times that I've had here, the memories, the special moments are and will always be some of the best moments I'll have in my life, and memories that will live with me forever. And I'm eternally grateful to everyone who's helped me along.
This is my right back. This is my right back, people. Is it still laggy? I have no idea why it's laggy. I'm going to be real. StreamYard might not be the wave no more. StreamYard might not be the wave. Why is this shit lagging? Can you guys see it better now?
Along the way, being able to sit here now as a two-time Premier League champion for the club that I grew up loving, it's a great end to the story for me.
Alexander-Arnold! And he scored!
Of course, it's very...
It's still lagging? All right, fuck the video. Fuck the video. Let's just read what he says, right? Forget the video. If it's going to keep lagging, I'm going to be real. StreamYard's messing up. I might have to get off this platform. I'm going to be honest. Like, OBS is clear. OBS is so much better than StreamYard. Like, I don't understand why it always gives connection issues, lagging issues. I'm about ready to say fuck StreamYard. But I just like so many of the tools that they have. But it is pissing me off a bit. But let's just read the statement that he put out. Fuck the video, all right? Because if it's not going to run smoothly, then, like, what's the point, right? So this is the video that Trent dropped and the statement, right? He says, after 20 years at Liverpool Football Club, now is the time for me to confirm that I will be leaving at the end of the season. This is easily the hardest decision I've ever made in my life. I know many of you have wondered why or been frustrated that I haven't spoken about this yet, but it was always my intention to keep my full focus on the team's best interest, which was securing number 20. This club has been my whole life, my whole world for 20 years, from the academy right through until now. The support and love I have felt from everyone inside and outside the club will stay with me forever. I will forever be in debt to you all. But I have never known anything else, and this decision is about experiencing a new challenge, taking myself out of my comfort zone and pushing myself both professionally and personally. I've given my all every single day. I've been at this club, and I hope you feel like I've given back to you during my time here. From the bottom of my heart, I thank everybody, my coaches, my managers, my teammates, the staff, and our incredible supporters for the last 20 years. I've been blessed enough to live out my dream, and I will never, ever take that for granted. The special moments that I've been fortunate enough to have lived with you all. My love for this club will never die. Fucking hell, what a mouthful. Oh my days. I gotta drink some water after that. I ain't gonna lie. Shit left me parched. Hey, look, man. W Trent. W Trent. I rate it. This is what you gotta do sometimes, man. Look, let's actually talk about it, right? Let's actually break this down before we move on to other things. By the way, I did drop a video this morning, right? On the Trent situation. So you can also check that out. But W Trent in the chat. Fucking hell. I am super hyped for this guy to be joining Real Madrid. I think he's gonna absolutely cook in La Liga. Now, I'm seeing a lot of Liverpool fans are just absolutely cursing this guy. And for me, it just doesn't really make sense. I think it's understandable why Liverpool fans are upset. And I get it. But I think a majority of the blame has to be put on the club. Because the club have allowed Trent to leave for free. The club did not do their due diligence. Once a player has 2 years left on their deal, you either give them an ultimatum or you have to accept the reality that they might leave for free. Once a player is hesitant on signing a new deal, you have to force them out. It's not up to Trent to get Liverpool a fee. It's never up to the player to make sure that the club get money. Are Liverpool a bunch of idiots? Do they need to be told, yeah, I'm going to be leaving? Brother, actions speak louder than words. We've known for 2 years now that Real Madrid were looking at Trent. If I know that, if everybody in the chat knows that, how do Liverpool Football Club not know this? Fabrizio Romano literally gives us updates throughout the year. So this is a Liverpool problem. Again, I'm not saying that their fans should not be upset. I'm not saying that their fans need to wish Trent all the best and that they need to act like they're happy for him. That's not what I'm going at. I understand them being annoyed. But I feel like a lot of the anger that we see is misdirected. A lot of the smoke that these fans are having for Trent, you need to have for your owners. Real Madrid made you an offer in January. You rejected it. Last summer, you could have got some money for him. You didn't want to sell. So whose fault is it? And for every fan that's saying, it's not that Trent left, it's how he left, you're lying. There's nothing, and there is no way that he could have left where you guys would have thought that it was cool. Even if, let's say Real Madrid were paying $100 million for Trent, their fans would have still been pissed off. So let's not lie to ourselves here. But Fabrizio Romano has confirmed. He's dropped the "Here we go." He says that the decision to leave Liverpool now confirmed as Trent says goodbye to the club after winning one more Premier League title. Documents are being prepared for Trent to join Real Madrid on a 5-year contract. Verbal agreement is done. I want to know how you guys think Trent's going to do in La Liga. How do you guys think Trent's time at Real Madrid is going to go? Will he flop? Will he continue to be one of the best right backs in the world? How do you guys see this happening? How's it going to play out? We all know Agent Jude. I remember when Jude was at Dortmund, they thought that Trent was recruiting him. Who knew that a couple of seasons later, it would be the reverse? Trent underneath Xabi Alonso next season is going to be a madness. Let me tell you something right now. This guy's going to be moving like David Beckham underneath Xabi Alonso. I think Trent's going to smash it at Real Madrid. Yes, I'm a bit worried about what he will give to us defensively right? We all know that defensively, we've not been the best this season. We can't keep a clean sheet. Teams are scoring a bunch of goals on us. They're creating chances left and right? We've been struggling. But what Trent offers you on the ball is so fantastic that it makes up for his defensive incapabilities. I honestly believe that Trent comes to Real Madrid, and I believe that he helps us win everything. I think with the right system, right, with the right tactics, this is going to be an amazing deal for us. And at the end of the day, it's a free transfer. So even if he comes here and flops, and then we sell him in 3 years, we still make pure profit. Now, for everybody that thinks that it's only all about the money, Fabrizio Romano has already confirmed, right, that that's not the case. Trent Alexander-Arnold had interest from clubs other than Real Madrid. I mean, it makes sense. Every team in the world, every big club will be in for a guy like Trent. Every big club would have called his agent to see what it would take to get him to join them. But Fabrizio said that they were asking, how much is Real Madrid offering? Because we can give you more. But Trent only wanted us. On top of that, even though he's signing as a free agent, which generally gives you higher wages, that's not the case. Liverpool offered Trent more money to stay. With us, he's not getting a crazy weekly salary. The guy is getting money that fits within our wage structure. Like, bro, this is perfect, man. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Trent on that right side, being able to overlap. Now, we actually have two proper right backs, brother. We got Trent, and then we got Danny Carvajal when he comes back from injury. We all know that the back line needed a major overhaul. Nah, this is amazing. This is amazing, brother. Last report, though, that I want to show you guys before we move on, though. Did you guys see this? Where Fabrizio Romano has also come out and said that Real Madrid did not want to sign two offensive fullbacks. So they had to decide between Trent and Alphonso Davies around October and November. In the end, we decided to go after Trent over Davies. Now, we all know that Alphonso Davies, in January, I believe, he signed a new contract at Bayern. He's staying there for, 5-6 more seasons. I don't know if I believe this report right here. I do think that Real Madrid wanted both. I feel like this is more so to save face. Now, obviously, right, Davies is injured. He tore his ACL, so it looks like we picked the right player because that would suck. But I don't believe that this was actually the case. Like, this to me comes off as PR. But as far as the Trent thing is concerned, I don't want to see Trent play another game for Liverpool. There's 2-3 more games left in the Premier League. They've already won it. They have nothing else to play for. I do not want to see Trent step on that field for Liverpool again. If this guy picks up any injury before he joins us, I'm going to be pissed. I also hope that we're able to get Trent for the Club World Cup. We all know that in order to get Trent for that Club World Cup, we're going to have to pay Liverpool money. Since that tournament is in June, technically, he's still a Liverpool player until the end of June. So we're going to have to work out some kind of agreement with them. But how I view it is, the sooner we get him in, the better. But let me know what you guys are saying about Trent Alexander-Arnold, right? Real Madrid, we've had a down season. We've seen Barcelona absolutely dominate us. We're going to end the season more than likely trophyless, right? Got knocked out of the Champions League, absolutely embarrassed by Arsenal, losing 2 cup finals to Barcelona. Things have not went to plan. But I think Trent Alexander-Arnold could be one of those players that helps us turn things around next season. But Let me see what you guys are saying, and then we'll move on, though. I did drop a video earlier where I talk about it more in depth, so you guys can listen to it more. So there. Let me see. Nobody cares. Trent's better than Koundé. Koundé is a center back that's playing right back. If Barcelona were signing him, you guys would be crying tears of joy right now. So, you know, it is what it is. Trent was not a guaranteed transfer if he signed another contract with Liverpool. Madrid probably told him that we're going for you. You sign a new contract. Yeah, I agree. If he would have signed a new deal, we wouldn't have still been in for him. That's a fact. I don't think that he would be a target for the club if he would have signed a new deal. I think that we would have moved on. I think a big reason why we were so interested in Trent is because of his contract and what's going on there. Yo, big up Benedict. What's good, bro? Yeah, I don't know about it, Invincible. I just want to win the treble. That's what I want, personally. Liverpool fans are deluded. They think they're bigger. Yeah, no, they're not. They are the biggest club in England, though, in terms of success-wise, but nah, they're not that club. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. Okay.
Oh, okay. He single-handedly lost Liverpool's UCL campaigns. If that makes you feel better, Enzo, if that makes you feel better, bro, then, yep, we can just go with that 100%. I'm not going to argue with you, big dog. Don't even worry about it, bro. Luckily, he's not your problem. He's my problem. Let the Real Madrid fans worry about Trent. Don't worry about it. You don't need him anyways, right? You have Koundé, Gerard Martin, Hector Fort, and them guys. You don't need them. Don't worry. Let me see. No, sell Rodrygo and use the money to get a natural center forward like Osimhen, Gyökeres, or Sesko to free up Mbappe on one of the wings instead of through the middle. I mean, that could be a possibility if Rodrygo does end up leaving 100%. I don't think that you're wrong. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think that they're bigger than Manchester United. They're just more successful. I think Man United globally are bigger, which then would make them a bigger club, in my opinion. Because they also do have the trophies as well. But even though I think they're now 1 behind Liverpool or 2 behind Liverpool, I think that, yeah, United's fan base makes them the biggest club in England alongside the success. But if Liverpool's fan base was bigger, then especially with the silverware that they have, then they would be bigger than you. But they're more successful, though. So I guess it just depends. Do you consider success more than... I don't know. But yeah, guys, look. As I said, I dropped a video talking about Trent earlier, but of course, we had to get into it a little bit more. But look, keep getting in your comments about what you guys think with this whole Trent situation. But let's keep it going because the defensive revolution is just getting started. Did you guys see the news that broke over the last few days concerning Saliba? We all knew that Real Madrid were interested in signing this guy. But whenever we saw reports, it always indicated that we'd look to get him in 2026 or possibly as a free agent when his contract runs out in 2027. But now, it looks like things are kind of moving a lot quicker than what any of us expected. Now, according to a lot of big French outlets, they're saying that Real Madrid have decided to sign Saliba this summer. They're saying that we have been in talks with all parties for weeks now. Now, let me tell you something. Saliba is my dream signing for this summer window. Saliba, to me, is the perfect defensive signing for us, especially when you consider how shit we have been this season. When you look at how shaky our back line has been, he is the chosen one. I think every team in the world would take Saliba. And it's going to be a very hard deal to get done because him and Gabriel Magalhaes are arguably the best center back duo in world football. They've done an amazing job for Arsenal. But the issue that they have at Arsenal is that they've not been that successful, in my opinion. They haven't been able to get over the line. And I think a player like Saliba is thinking about it, and he's saying to himself, maybe I need to leave. Now, again, he still does have a few years left on his contract. But if you look at the second part of this report, it says that Real Madrid have been in talks with all parties for weeks. What does all parties mean, chat? That means that we're talking to Saliba, we're talking to his camp, his manager, agent, his dad, whoever. All parties also means that we're talking to Arsenal. When we drew them in the quarterfinals, I told you that I'm using this matchup and these two legs against Arsenal as a recruitment process. If you think that Saliba and his people were in Madrid for that game against us, and if you don't think that the club were in contact, you're lying to yourself. If you don't think that Saliba isn't talking to Mbappe, isn't talking to Camavinga, Chouameni, Ferland Mendy, we're French FC. You don't think that these players are trying to convince him to join? And if you look at what Real Madrid need, it is so obvious that it is defensive reinforcements. Eder Militao has done his ACL again. David Alaba cannot stay fit to save his life. Rudiger is not getting any younger. And this season, he's regressed. On top of that, he's also now dealing with an injury. Jesus Vallejo is shit. And his contract runs out at the end of this season. We have neglected our defense for far too long. Florentino Perez is always focused on the attack. Now it's time to focus on that back line. Thibaut Courtois cannot continue to carry us on his back. This guy is playing Superman. Every single week, he's having to make big save after big save. It's not sustainable. And for anybody that's saying, why would Saliba join Real Madrid after Arsenal embarrassed you guys in the Champions League? It's irrelevant. Now, what I do think is that if Arsenal win the UCL this season, right? And at the time of me recording this, they still got to go to France and play that second leg. If they win this UCL final, then why would he go? But if they don't win it, because the UCL this season is the only chance of a trophy that they have. If they don't win it, if they go another year without lifting any silverware, you don't think a player like Saliba is considering going to Real Madrid? Are you kidding me? Now, for as shit as we've been this season, I've told you guys that seeing how the last 9 months has played out, Real Madrid in the summer window, we're going to have to respond. You couldn't allow Barcelona to dominate us the way that they did and then win all the trophies that they have. You couldn't allow that to go unanswered. You couldn't allow getting embarrassed against two legs versus Arsenal. You couldn't allow that to go unanswered. So for as shit as we've been this season, The result of that is the club are going to have to take action. Let's continue this. Fabrizio Romano has also confirmed, this is all on his YouTube. Go to his YouTube channel to watch the videos. But he said, Real Madrid are clear. They will be ready to go for Saliba when the opportunity arises. They will be waiting to see what happens in the talks between the player and club, just like they did with Trent. So now what does this mean? We all know, right? Saliba only has, 2 years left on his contract? And we all know that Arsenal want to extend his deal. If you're Arsenal, you don't want to lose a player like Saliba. He's an integral cornerstone of whatever project they got going on. You do not want to lose a player like him. And they're going to try to extend him. Now, again, if Saliba extends his contract at Arsenal, if he signs a 5-year deal, that makes this signing damn near impossible. But if he tells Arsenal, I'm not going to sign a new contract right now, that opens things up. Because clubs have to start thinking more logically. Losing one of your best players for nothing is bad business. PSG losing Mbappe for nothing after we offered them money is bad business. Liverpool losing Trent after we offered them money is bad business. Arsenal, if they allow Saliba to run down his deal, they are idiots. Saliba, I think right now is worth 100 million. I think Real Madrid should be willing to pay 100 million. Do you guys know that the last center back that we actually spent money on was Eder Militao? And then after Eder Militao, the last center back that we spent money on, unless my memory is just really bad at the moment, it's Raphael Varane. We have spent money on 2 center backs over like the last, 13 years? Go out there and drop the bread on Saliba. If he is stalling on signing a new deal with Arsenal, you have to capitalize this summer window. When I told you guys that we needed a defensive revolution, what did I say? I said I want a right back. Trent is in the door. I told you I want 2 center backs. Saliba being one of them. Saliba is the marquee player that we should be looking at this summer. I said bring in Saliba. He's somebody that can get into that starting 11 right now. And he's still young. And then the second center back that I wanted was a younger one. I think that we got to force either Alaba or Militao or even both of them out the club. You have to force them out. Now, they have big contracts, especially Alaba. He's on a shit ton of money. But next season is a World Cup year. All these players are going to want to be in that World Cup. I would tell Militao, I would tell Alaba, your services are no longer needed. You have to find a new club. And if they don't want to leave, then I'll tell them, look, then you'll be in the academy. You'll be with the reserves. We'll have you training with the under 10s. You'll be babysitting on a weekly basis. You're not going to make that World Cup squad. Legally, these players don't have to leave. But there's ways to get them out. Alaba is washed. Militao, I think he will be washed after these injuries that he suffered. You don't tear both your ACLs in back-to-back seasons, and then you expect me to believe that you're going to come back. Lucas Vazquez is leaving the club. Vallejo is leaving the club. So there's going to be openings. I think you bring in Saliba, then you have him, Rudiger, Raul Asensio, Jean Martinez, the young kid from the academy who tore his ACL last summer. And then maybe you go sign somebody else who we'll talk about in a few minutes. But defense is the priority here. Last report says that Real Madrid are willing to follow any strategy to get Saliba. So there's three possible outcomes here. We can make a bid for him this summer, right? Like, let's see what Arsenal will do if we slap 95 million on the table. Let's see how they respond to that. Maybe they are open to selling if they think he's not going to extend his contract, right? So that's the first option, and that's the one that I want to see happen. The second one is we can make a move for him next summer in 2026 when he only has 1 year left on his deal. That would be the second best option. Obviously, I'd want Saliba immediately. I want him right now. But if that's not a possibility, then I'm a patient man. I'll wait 1 more year. But if Arsenal are still playing hardball, then we'll wait to sign him in 2027 as a free agent. That is the worst outcome for me. I think that we need a center back now, and we need a big center back, not just any random signing. No. We need to make a statement with a defensive signing. Especially, look at how Barcelona are playing offensively. Look at how many goals they're scoring. They're cooking at the moment. So I don't want to wait for him to be a free agent. I want Saliba now. But let me know what you guys are saying, though, about this news. Would you take Saliba at Real Madrid? Yes or no? Bro, he's a must sign, 100%, brother. 350 million plus Rodrygo and Vinicius. Okay. I think you will take 100 million and you'll like it. Why wouldn't he? I don't think that he is in a rush to leave Arsenal, but why wouldn't he? Yo, big up for the super chat. My guy says Saliba and 40 million for Rodrygo. I mean, a swap deal could be a possibility here, depending on what happens with Rodrygo. 100%. But I appreciate that, my guy. Let's see. But you never know. Real Madrid can convince him. After all, as Real Madrid, most players would play for them, either Barca or Real Madrid. Facts. The knock is a little bit different. Yeah, look, they said, all right, if you don't want to sell him this summer, then we'll be back in the following summers. It's crazy. Big up Stanley says, please stop mentioning that name, Vallejo. Yeah, bro, Vallejo is shit. That guy is so shit. Alvaro Carreras to Real Madrid. I've never watched him. I have not watched a Benfica game this season. I've seen the reports, right, concerning him and these Real Madrid links, but to be honest, I don't know. Never watched him. I can't tell you if he's good enough or not. A lot of people do seem to rate him, but I don't think a majority of people actually watch Benfica week in, week out. I feel like people just see the links and then they just go to Twitter or YouTube and look up his highlights. Like, highlights would make anybody look good. So, I'm not sure. Big up, bro. I think we should go for Dean Huijsen instead. We're going to talk about Dean Huijsen next. Dean Huijsen would definitely be an easier deal to get done, 100%. But he's not as good as Saliba. Like, to sign a player like Saliba, you're going to have to break the record for center back, a defender, period. You're going to have to spend like 100 million. Saliba is very good, brother. He would walk into your PSG side. What do you mean? He's better than William Pacho. He's better than Marquinhos at the moment. Saliba's a baller. We're going to put him on big wages. Yeah, but that's if he signs a new deal. I mean, you would have to put him on big wages. Of course, Saliba's not going to extend for a little bit of money. I don't even know if Rodrygo leaves. I would need somebody, like, I would need to see Fabrizio Romano confirm that he's looking to leave, and then I'll be able to have a better thing for you. But we'll talk about Rodrygo at the end of the show, though. Don't worry. So maybe I'll have an answer for you there. Let me see. Nah, I mean, who knows what the future holds, but I'm not sure if the club will go in for Eleni Euro. Not anymore. It depends, though. You can never tell, but he had his chance to join us, and he chose United. He rejected us. Let's see. Yeah, I do want both as well. I agree with you. Theo Hernandez should be the main target at left back. Yeah, I mean, look, we'll talk about that maybe another day, but his contract runs out in 2026. AC Milan, they're not that club that they used to be, so maybe we could try and do a madness for Theo Hernandez this summer. He wouldn't cost that much either because of his contract situation, so that's definitely something to think about as well. 100%. Yo, chat, run the likes up. What are we at? 55 likes. Yo, let's try and get to 100 likes before the stream ends. If you've not smashed that like button, you got to do so, bro. Are you guys not entertained? Is this not peak content? Come on, people. Big up to your damn selves, right? Shout out to everybody that's in here. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you smash that like button. Get in the Discord. And subscribe to my second channel, Carnage Extra. The link for both of those will get dropped in the chat throughout the stream. But let's keep it going. So we talked about Trent. We've spoken about Saliba. But I want to talk to you guys about some of the other defensive signings that the club should be looking at. Because two players that have gotten brought up over the last few days that I think Real Madrid should be looking at, right? Obviously, William Saliba is, in my opinion, the main target, right? He is the marquee signing. He is the creme de la creme of center backs, okay? This guy should be the main focus. But I don't think one center back is enough. Look at how shit we have been defensively this season. I think that two center backs should be coming to the club this summer, and we should also be looking to get rid of like three of our center backs, right? David Alaba should be forced out. Militao should be forced out. And then Vallejo's contract runs out anyways, so he's out of there. But aside from Saliba, right, two names that I've seen, Dean Huijsen and Piero Hincapié from Bayer Leverkusen. Now, the first player that I want to talk about is Dean Huijsen, because we all know for a fact that he is going to leave Bournemouth at the end of this season. He is going to get a move to a big club this summer. Now, reports weeks ago were saying that Real Madrid were in for him. They were saying that we were the favorites to sign him. But things have now drastically changed. Because according to a lot of outlets, they're saying that Real Madrid have doubts about signing Dean Huijsen due to his young age and his high price. And I think if the club seriously do view it this way, that would be a mistake. I think Dean Huijsen is a top center back for his age. I think his potential is through the roof. I think he is a baller. Look at how he's been performing for Bournemouth this season. Look at how he performed for Spain in the Nations League after the Kubarsi injury. I think he is one of the most complete center backs in world football, and he will only get better. On the ball, he's very good. His passing range is good as well. Defensively, he's very good. In the air, he's a threat. The guy is 6'5". He's a target man on corners, from free kicks. And again, he's young. I think a player like Dean Huijsen, you sign him, you don't have to start him week in, week out. You let him come off the bench. You let him start a game here or there. You rotate him in. I don't agree with the narrative of he's too expensive. Brother, he has a release clause. You don't even have to negotiate with Bournemouth. Now, the issue that we have is that there's Premier League clubs that are out there who are willing to offer him higher wages and who are willing to pay that release clause with no problem. And it doesn't seem like Dean Huijsen really wants to wait for Real Madrid. Now, according to Fabrizio Romano, they're saying that Dean wants to make his decision early. It could be at the end of May / early June. Now, at Real Madrid, right, we're very busy at the moment. We're trying to figure out the next manager, right? We all know that Carlo's leaving. We're trying to get Xabi Alonso in. We're trying to figure out a deal to get that done. Also, we've been working on this Trent signing, and we still got to get that over the line. It's only a verbal agreement. So that's why they're not ready to go for Dean Huijsen right now, while English clubs are pushing to get that deal over the line. Last report on this. It says, and this is from Fabrizio himself, he says, Huijsen has decided or has not decided his next club yet. 50 million release clause will surely be triggered. Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal are still in the race, and they're talking to his camp. Bayern keen on signing him since January, but it depends on their sales, and Real Madrid haven't decided whether they want a new center back or not. I think, look, we all know Real Madrid definitely want a new center back. But looking at the clubs that were mentioned, just really quickly, Chelsea, they need him. Chelsea defensively are shit. I think Dean Huijsen walks into that 11. I think that Dean Huijsen would be Chelsea's best center back. We all know, right? Chelsea are about 3 players away from, I think, competing for the Premier League and being a threat in Europe. They need a striker, they need a center back, and they need a goalkeeper. And I think if you look at the Chelsea model, right, with how they've been signing players, he fits their profile. 20 years old, high potential, and I think, again, they give him the best chance to start. The second club that was mentioned, Liverpool. I don't think that Dean Huijsen would start at Liverpool. Obviously, I think he'd be a very good signing for them, right? He could be the Van Dijk replacement. Van Dijk just signed 2-year extension. He could learn from Van Dijk. He could learn from Konate. That would be a very good signing. But I think he can start at Chelsea. So I think Liverpool, they do need him, but I don't think that he's a priority for them. But again, if they do sell Quansah, they'll have the extra money. And I think that Liverpool are going to be active in this summer window because they didn't spend any money last season. And I think that Arne Slot has shown you that he's more than capable of giving you trophies, right? He's won the Premier League in his first season. So they should definitely be backing this manager. And then Arsenal. This could be contingent on Saliba. If Saliba leaves, I mean, Dean Huijsen would be an excellent replacement. You put him in that back line next to Gabriel Magalhaes. But at the moment, he doesn't start for them either. He would have to come off the bench. He's not going to get in over Gabriel or Saliba if they both stay. So only one of these teams that Fabrizio has named that's in the race he starts for. And that's Chelsea. He would also start at Bayern as well, actually, to be fair. Bayern, their defensive options are shit. Upamecano, mid. Kim Min-jae, mid. Eric Dyer, I think he's leaving. I think they signed somebody from Stuttgart last window. He's shit. Okay, let me not call him shit. Bayern would be a very good option for Dean Huijsen. But again, they're saying that it depends on sales. I think he should wait for Real Madrid. Just wait and see what we do. If you're Dean Huijsen, there's no rush. Like, clubs are going to still want you, whether you make your decision in May or June. Just give it a little bit of time. Just wait. See what happens with Madrid. If Xabi Alonso comes in, just wait. There's no reason for him to rush. Unless his release clause has to be triggered by a certain day, then why does he want to make his decision so early? It doesn't really make that much sense to me. You have the whole summer window. Assess your options. See what Real Madrid are going to say. If Real Madrid come back and if they tell him, yo, we're not going to go in for you, then make your choice. But all the reports have been indicating that he wants to come to Madrid. We've seen all the stories that have said that if Real Madrid enter the race for Dean Huijsen, that changes everything. He's willing to wait. So let's see. Obviously, him having a release clause, you don't have to negotiate with Bournemouth. So that is an advantage. But I think Bayern, Chelsea, those two clubs make the most sense if he wants to go somewhere and start. But if he's willing to go to Liverpool and come off the bench and rotate, if he's willing to do that at Arsenal, then he'd be willing to do that at Real Madrid. So he's somebody that I want. I want him and Saliba. Saliba, 100 million. Dean Huijsen, activate that release clause. That's what, 160 million euros possibly on 2 center backs. That fixes our center back issues that we have. That's how you sort out your defense right there. And then you still have Rudiger, you still have Raul Asensio, and then you still have Jean Martinez, the 16-year-old that's in our academy, who went on preseason with us, and he actually looked really good before he got injured. 5 center backs right there. There's a lot of games coming up, right? There's so many games. We're going to be involved in a lot of competitions. Champions League, La Liga, Copa del Rey, Spanish Super Cup. There's going to be minutes for everyone. Huijsen, wait for Real Madrid, brother. But I want to know what you guys think about him, right? Is he somebody that the club should be looking at or not? Now, the next player that I want to talk about, that is Piero Hincapié from Bayer Leverkusen. Now, this guy is an absolute baller. And according to the reports, they're saying that Xabi Alonso has advised Real Madrid to make a move for Piero Hincapié this summer. He is valued at around 40 million. Now, look, there's no way that we're going to sign Dean Huijsen and Piero Hincapié. For me, it's one of the other. Now, Huijsen is a lot younger, and I think that he has a higher potential. But I would definitely take Piero Hincapié if that looked like a more likely deal. You get me Saliba and Hincapié in the same window, I am very happy. This guy is so good. The Ecuadorian defender can play left back, can play center back at a very high level. And I know why these rumors are coming around, right? It's because Xabi Alonso will more than likely be our next manager. And I told you guys from time ago that if we're going to sign any player for him, for him from Leverkusen, let it be him. I don't want Florian Wirtz. I don't want Jonathan Tah. I don't want Jeremy Frimpong. The only player from Leverkusen that I would take is Piero Hincapié. This guy is a baller, very technical, very good defensively. I've watched him for Leverkusen. I've watched him for Ecuador. I watched him in Copa America. I watched him during the World Cup qualifiers. I've watched him at Leverkusen. He is a top player, and he already knows that Xabi Alonso system. And if the manager says that he's a player that he wants, I think the club should back him. Now, we know that at Real Madrid, that's not usually how it works, right? The managers don't generally have a say, right? Like, we bring in who Florentino Perez thinks makes the most sense. But Hincapié is only 23 years old, and he has very high potential. I think we should look at him. I gave Leverkusen a lot of credit, right? Last season, they went invincible. They did a domestic double fantastic, right? Xabi Alonso worked miracles. And I thought last season in the summer, right? I thought last summer that Leverkusen were going to get raided. I thought that a lot of their big players were going to leave. I thought Xabi Alonso was going to possibly end up at Bayern, at Liverpool. Like, because at the time, they needed new managers. They were able to keep all of their players for the most part. Now, this season, yeah, they fell off. But to me, it doesn't really matter, bro. I think this summer, once Xabi Alonso leaves, yeah, I think a couple of those guys are gone, right? We already see the rumors with Florian Wirtz. We see that Jonathan Tah is talking to other clubs. He's going to be a free agent, right? There's talks about Jeremy Frimpong leaving as well. Grimaldo, like Boniface, and these different players. I think Pierre Cappy, he checks the box that we need. The guy could play left back. He could start for us at left back right now. He's better than Fran Garcia. He may be better than Furlan. He's definitely better than Mendy going forward. And I'd say maybe he's just as good defensively. So I want to know what you guys are saying about those two defenders, though, right? Like, are those players that you think the club should be looking at? Hincapi, Dean Huijsen. If you could only pick one of them, which one would you decide? Let me know down below. Let's get a few comments, though, before we move on to the last story of the day. Yo, big up the chat, man. Make sure you guys smash that like button if you haven't done so. Subscribe. Turn on those post notifications. Let's see. My guy said Saliba can finally eat seasoned food. Nah, that's hilarious, bro. Let's see. He starts him and Kubarsi would be unreal. Arroyo, I rate to be fair, but he also has injury problems. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Maybe you're talking to somebody else, probably touchline, right? Yoro's a great player, but he's not a world-class player. He might get there, but paying 2 for him is risky. Yeah, Manchester United, they definitely overpaid for Yoro, 100%. Yo, big up to Yaya with the super chat. Says Arsenal fans are sure he will stay for them. Yeah, you're talking about Saliba. I missed that super chat. Sorry about that, bro. Yeah. They need to hope so. 100%. They need to hope so. We should loan Jean Martinez. That could be an option as well. He's still super young. I think Xabi Alonso is going to use the academy a lot more. I think like you will see a lot of younger players make their debut and get opportunities underneath Xabi Alonso. We're going to cook corners next season. Hey, look, bro. Rudiger, Chouameni. I mean, that's about it, though. So I'm saying, bro, like we do need some more aerial threats. Okay, you're talking about Euro. I got you. Man United fans are so delulu thinking that Euro chose Man United over Madrid because of pull. Yeah, I know. It's about money. Bro, this guy Euro was begging for us to come sign him. But we made a very low offer, bro. Like, the money that Manchester United put up for him, I don't blame him, right? I don't blame any player that chooses money. Like, this is how sports goes. Like, this is how life works. Like, of course, should he not take more money? I mean, I know that Lenny Yoro definitely sits at home and thinks about himself at Real Madrid. Like, he's probably thinking, like, damn, with all the injuries that they had, imagine if I would have just went to Real Madrid. Now I'm at Manchester United. He probably would change things if he can go back in time, but it is what it is. He looks like a good player, though, for Manchester United, so you know, everybody's happy. If we would have signed Lenny Yoro, then we would have never found out about Raul Asensio. So it is what it is. I'm happy with Asensio. They're happy with Yoro. Let's move on. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know, bigger fish to fry and that. But yo, last story of the day, right? I want to talk about Rodrygo. Now, when this news broke a few days ago about him possibly leaving the club, it caught a lot of people off guard. But not me. Now, I've already dropped a video going into detail about this, right? More so my initial reaction. But now that I've had a couple of days to think about this, right, my opinions stay the same. I think that Rodrygo, for his own personal benefit, he should leave Real Madrid. I don't think that Rodrygo is appreciated at Real Madrid. If you look at our front four, he's last in the pecking order. It doesn't matter what he does during a game. He will always be the first attacker subbed off. Even if he's playing better than Vinicius, even if he's playing better than Mbappe, he's still the one that gets hooked off. And I think that Rodrygo is a top player, especially if he's given an opportunity on that left wing. The guy has had to sacrifice so much at Real Madrid. He's playing out of position, and he's been doing a pretty good job there. Now, this season, he's been mid. Rodrygo has not lived up to the standards that we have all set for him. But we know what he's capable of doing, right? This season at Real Madrid, everybody's kind of fallen off except for Courtois. He's the only player that I can look at and say across this season, he's maintained his levels. And I think that if you're Rodrygo, you're missing out on these Ballon d'Or conversations. Every single time somebody speaks about you, they talk about how underrated you are. When I think a lot of people know that Rodrygo is one of the best wingers in the world. Like, Rodrygo, in my opinion, is just as talented as Vinicius, as Mbappe, as a Lamine Yamal, right? As a Bukayo Saka. Like, any of these top wingers that you want to talk about, I think if Rodrygo was at a club that he was starting consistently on that left wing, he would be in these conversations. And I think if you look at the footballing landscape, there's a lot of top clubs that can use a Rodrygo and that would allow him to start on the left wing. We're going to talk about Arsenal because a big link has come out there. But you got Arsenal, right? Man City, Bayern, Chelsea. A lot of these big clubs can use a Rodrygo. He's my favorite player. I think he's a guy that when we sell him, because I think that Rodrygo will leave. Maybe not this summer, but I think the next one. I can't see Rodrygo being here in 3 more years. Now, me personally, I don't want him to leave. I would like to see Rodrygo underneath the next manager. I would like to see him in a Xabi Alonso system because I think Rodrygo at left wing back would be amazing. It would give him a chance to start on the left, and out of all of our front 3 players, Rodrygo does the most defensive work. So left wing back could be a position that he cooks in. I would like to see it happen. But Rodrygo just wants to feel appreciated. And I don't blame him. A lot of people disrespect him. Last summer, I was arguing with people that wanted him sold. I believe that he walks into most clubs and starts on their left wing. He's that good. And if you look at it from his POV, he could be sitting there saying, I've won everything. Multiple Champions Leagues, multiple La Ligas, a Copa del Rey, Spanish Super Cups, Club World Cups. He's achieved it all. And I think if he wanted to think more so personal, if he wanted to do what was best for his career in terms of getting the respect that he deserves, he needs to leave because he's not going to get that at Real Madrid. He's never going to be above Vinicius. He's never going to be above Mbappe in the pecking order. He's not going to be above Jude. So why not think about leaving? Again, I don't want him to leave, but I understand if he does. I get it. I think we can get 100 million at least for Rodrygo. He would go for big money. Look at everything that he's accomplished. Look at the potential that this guy has. How many times have we seen Rodrygo get an opportunity on that left wing and turn into a monster? Left wing Rodrygo is a demon. We all know this. But again, at Real Madrid, he's not going to get that proper respect. And if he wants to put himself in conversations that he's currently not a part of, then he has to think about leaving the club. Now, we did get our first actual link to another team. And the reports are saying that Rodrygo's starting price is close to 100 million. Arsenal have asked about him in recent days. Now, when I was bringing up which clubs I think he'd be a good fit at, Arsenal was 100% one that comes to mind. Liverpool are another team that we've seen a lot of rumors with. Also, Man City, right? I think Bayern would be a good fit. But more so for Arsenal, we know that their attack is not where it should be, right? Aside from Bukayo Saka, they have nobody else. Rodrygo walks into that 11. He's better than Martinelli. He's better than Trossard. He would be their starter on that left wing. And I'll be honest, I think he would become their best player. And having him and Bukayo Saka as their two wingers, that'd be phenomenal for them. I think Arsenal are in a very peculiar situation because the expectations for him are very high, right? Like they're expected to win trophies and they haven't been able to do that. We know that Arsenal are looking at strikers as well. They could do something where they get Rodrygo for like 90 million and then they can still activate Gyökeres's release clause. That would show that they're not messing around. That would show some serious intent. That would show that they're trying to win. Or when we talked about Saliba, what if there's a possible swap deal here? Let's say, because Saliba is more valuable to Arsenal than Rodrygo is to Real Madrid. Let's say we give them Rodrygo and 20 million for Saliba. Or maybe Rodrygo and like 10, 15 million. That to me seems like something that could possibly happen. But this is one to keep our eyes on because who knows what's going to happen with Rodrygo, right? As more links come out, we'll talk about it. But I mean, like, which clubs do you think should go in for Rodrygo? Me personally, if I'm him, I'd want to go to Bayern. I think Bayern would make the most sense. See. Well, the thing is, the news has just come out, bro, about Rodrygo possibly leaving. So it's kind of like, I mean, like bids aren't going to come in right now during the summer window, though, because we're not going to sell him now, right? And he's not going to leave before the Club World Cup. But like once we get to July, expect a lot of this rumors to pick up. Now, if Xabi Alonso comes in and tells him that he's a part of his plans and that he values him, I don't think Rodrygo goes anywhere. But I think if things continue like how they have been, where Carlo is kind of discarding him a bit, yeah, bro, I think he's gone. Bayern would be perfect for Rodrygo. He would easily bench Sané. Facts. He's better than Sané. He's better than Gnabry. Can you imagine the front four of Rodrygo on the left? If you have fucking hell, I'm drawing a blank. Olise on the right, Musiala in the 10, Harry Kane in the 9. Brother, that would be a scary front four. And Bayern are a big club, right? Bayern are right up there with the Real Madrids, Barças, and Man United. Like, they're an elite club. So I think that would be a good fit for him. You're guaranteed trophies as well. Do you think other clubs would sign him for the left wing or left wing? I don't. If Rodrygo leaves and goes to a club that does not start him on the left wing, he's stupid. He's stupid. Because if you're going to play on the right wing, then you might as well stay at Real Madrid. The point of him leaving was to be on the left wing. Like, that would piss me off. Yeah, he's not on high wages either. Yo, big up F Kyle. What's good, bro? Bro, can we use Trent tomorrow versus Inter 1 game loan? Now, unfortunately, bro, you're going to have to go out there with Gerard Martin or Hector Fort, brother. But good luck to you. Nah, big up to Barca Value, man, every single time. My guy. Couple of more comments, then I'm out of here, people. We do have Football Mania in 2 hours, so we'll be back, and we'll get the boys' takes on it. But I wanted to do a live today, just solo. Let's see. Yo, Chelsea would be a good fit for him as well. Big up Adam. Yeah, I actually think that a Chelsea move would be very good for Rodrygo. But I just don't think that your club is in a position to sign a player like him. Rodrygo's not going to leave and go to a club that's not ready to compete. I don't think that Chelsea are ready to compete right now. But he would help you guys be a lot closer. But I think like an Arsenal, a Man City, a Liverpool, a Bayern, teams like that make a lot more sense than Chelsea. But with the way that Chelsea play, I can see it. 100 M's for Rodrygo is a scam? Brother, you're crazy. You're crazy. If you think that's a scam, then you're just being biased, bro. Anthony went for 100 million. Fucking Mudryk went for 100 million. Like, so many players that have not done anywhere near what Rodrygo has done and has accomplished as a player have gone for more money than that. So, no, Rodrygo, if you want to buy him, especially a Premier League club, with all the money that they have, especially for a player that has won multiple Champions Leagues, a guy that has turned up in the UCL, has scored big goals, right? I think he's the youngest player to score a hat trick in the UCL as well. This guy is a very clutch player. He would add a lot to a team. Stop it. You're talking about 100 million would be a scam. Would I take Doué to Madrid? Brother, do I need to drink water to keep living? Yes! Desiree Doué? Yes! He's a baller! But PSG, there's no possibility. If we want to sign Desiree Doué, we got to hope that he doesn't Mbappe. PSG will not sell him. And PSG would damn sure not sell him to us. They hate us. Any PSG player that I like, I don't even think about them because I know that it's just not going to happen. Desiree Doué is a fucking baller. I would take him at Real Madrid tonight. I would fly to Paris and help him pack. Are you kidding? Desiree Doué. Yes. 100%. He is cold. But it's not happening, though. Not happening. PSG, I think that they would rather, no. Yeah, bro, like, it's not happening. It's not happening, bro. Dribble Merchant? No. No, see, I'm not saying that I would sell Rodrygo for Doué, but I would take Doué, though. Like, if Rodrygo left and if we signed Doué, I would not be upset. I mean, I think we should use that money to get a proper 9, because then we could just move we could just move Mbappe to the right wing and then get a 9, like an actual target man. That's what I would want to do. But if we were able to sign Desiree Doué, I mean, are you kidding me, bro? This guy is a baller. But yo, chat, I think that will wrap up here, though, right? Again, Mania, we will be live in 2 hours. Who is live that I can redirect you to? Again, if you want to get more of my thoughts on us signing Trent Alexander-Arnold, then check out the video that I dropped this morning. Yo, a lot of content for you guys, man. We're feeding the streets, bro. We're feeding the streets right now, dog. You know what? This is going to take you guys over to Lee Gunner, right? Let him know, when you guys go to his chat, let Lee Gunner know Saliba to Madrid. Say that. Saliba to Madrid. Okay? But nah, big up the damn chat every single time. And yeah, people, we're out. 2 hours, Football Mania. Be there or be square in a bit.